Hey guys, so today I'm here to film a top 5 Tuesday video, but technically it's not a top 5 Tuesday video because it's Wednesday today when I'm filming this, because I was in no right frame of mind to film this video on the right day and to be able to upload it, because yesterday my grandfather died of a heart attack at my house, so it's still very strong and raw, but I can't get behind on this stuff and I can't just, like, I gotta do things that are gonna keep my mind off it. So today's really is just gonna be a top 5 whatever my theme is, which is gonna be fantasy books, because I was thinking last week I talked about all my top 5 favourite genres, so I thought I'd do my top 5 books in each of those genres. So this is just gonna be my top 5 fantasy books, and I'm just not gonna put the Tuesday on there because I really didn't film a video, but I'm still excited to get into this and to film and just talk to you guys, so let's do it. So number 5 on my list is Poison Study by Marie V. Schneider, and I mean like the first book of this fantasy world. Like, I think it's an amazing story, and it's so interesting having this person that was in jail, you don't know if they did it or not, and then becoming a poison tester, and then her learning about the world and like the characters and everything. But I think the first trilogy is alright. Like, the first and second book's pretty good. The third book I think was starting to go a bit downhill. The third trilogy, if you have seen my channel recently and seen my wrap up or my review for this, but the Spyglass trilogy was just not that great. But now I've started reading Shadow Study, I think. Yes, Shadow Study is the book that I've started, and that's a lot more better, because I mean, it's interesting having Elena as 27 and not 19 like she's in this book, but definitely think it's a great world and something to get into. But just know that the first book is always going to be the best thing about this whole entire world, but it's really good. Number 4 on my list is the Winter's Curse trilogy by Marie Ritoske, and even though there isn't really like many magical elements necessarily, like, or is there? There might be like a little bit of magical in this, but it's not much. It's more a political story, but it was really well, and the world I found really interesting, and the way that these two like different peoples were fighting against each other and their histories and just the characters and like the angst, man. You don't want to read this book if you don't like angsty relationships. You don't want to read this one because it just gets to me so much, and I died throughout the whole entire book series because of these couple. It's great though. Number 3 on my list is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and I love this series so much. Like, there's just the concept of a runaway princess and then having these two people looking for her and you don't know which one's which, and I was like, ugh. Like, I found it really intriguing, and I really like the whole entire world of this. And like, I mean, every fantasy book's gonna have an epic looking map. That's something too. Every fantasy book should have a map, even though The Winter's Curse doesn't. But still, it's like there's all these kingdoms and all this stuff happening, and like the stories are really great. Each book kept having more and more elements of this world building, and it was done really well. And like, again, the angst of these couples, and there's a love triangle that I'm like, but still, the whole entire thing is just amazing. And even though some people hate it and some people love it, it's one of the books that I really love, and I'm just so glad that I read this. Like, I actually read this book twice because I loved it so much, and just there's so many side stories and interesting ways, and it's like different perspectives, and I just love it so much. Number 2 on my list is For the Wrath of the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, and this is one of my favourite books ever. Like, honestly, I love this story so much. It's such an amazing retelling, but the fantasy world that is built from this story is just so great. Like, I love the first book, and the second book was still good, but I still feel a little bit like, oh, okay, that's it. But just this first book is amazing, and just the relate, like, every fantasy book needs to have that angst though for it to be good, but the characters are so amazing, and again, the story and the plot and the world building, and that's something that really does well with fantasy books, is just, and there's elements of magic in here and you're just not really sure what the magic is, and I'm like, ooh, it's very exciting, and I just enjoy it so much. And number 1, you have to know it's coming, and that is The Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, because it's amazing. Like, ACOTAR, I still do love the world of ACOTAR, but just Throne of Glass was one of the like the first fantasy series I read from her, and one that I've always really like stuck with, and it just develops and grows so much, and it's incredible. And ACOTAR does grow, but you sort of know where you're at and what characters you have at the beginning of that series. But this one, like, you know, people change, and then people become new characters, and old characters from like 20 years back come in, and all this stuff happens. But it is a great world too, and the magic system and all that is just so complex. And we actually are getting a book at some point that actually describes the world of Throne of Glass, so you actually know what the heck is going on more. Like, not that we don't know, but it's just, it's something that's more and more interested and invested, and it's, love so much, and I can't wait to get the next book at some point next year, unless it get pushed back again, which could happen, but still. But again, it's a great fantasy and one I recommend everyone read. But just know that the first book is completely different from what happens in the next and last books. So yeah, just be prepared for that, but it is a great series. So these are my top 5 fantasy books, and I feel like I have used all of these books for a video before and I don't know what one, but still, these are chilling up in here. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you guys later. Bye!